In the dark, cold space, hundreds of giant alien ships floated near a red sun. These ships belonged to the strongest races of the galaxy. They were proud, powerful, and full of confidence. Inside a massive battle station, leaders of different alien species sat around a glowing table. They discussed a strange message that had arrived a few hours ago. A fleet, unknown and unregistered, was moving toward their territory. The lizard-like General Threx laughed loudly. "Maybe some lost traders," he said, his sharp teeth shining. Others joined in the laughter. No unknown fleet had ever dared to enter this part of space. "Why should we even worry?" asked Queen Valora, whose people controlled 7 planets. "We will crush them like insects," said another. A young alien officer entered the room, looking nervous. "High Lords, the fleet is moving very fast. Faster than any known technology we have seen," he said. The room went silent for a moment, but then Threx waved his hand. "It's probably a trick. Maybe old Earth junk drifting in space," he said. At the mention of Earth, some of the older generals looked at each other quietly. Long ago, there were stories about humans, fierce, wild, and impossible to control. But those were just old legends, right? Meanwhile, far away, hidden in the darkness of space, the unknown fleet moved like a shadow. Their ships were not large like the alien ones. They were smaller, sharper, faster. They had black metal bodies that swallowed light. No banners, no signals, no warnings, only silence. Suddenly, a communication burst hit the alien defense channels. It was a voice, deep, calm, human. "We are coming." The message was short, but it shook the battle station like thunder. For a few seconds, no one spoke. The leaders looked at each other, confused. Who are they?" whispered Queen Valora. "This is an act of war," Threx shouted. "Prepare all ships. Show them what real power is." The aliens moved quickly. Thousands of weapons charged. Shields activated. Fighter squadrons launched into the empty space. Everyone was ready for battle. They expected a quick and easy victory. Soon, on the main screen of the station, small dots appeared. The unknown fleet. But something felt wrong. These ships moved together perfectly, almost like a single living creature. A squad of alien fighters was sent to intercept them. From the control room, the leaders watched with pride. But then, in a flash, the unknown ships attacked. It was not a normal attack. The human ships moved between the fighters like knives through paper. Within seconds, the entire alien squad was destroyed. No mercy. No hesitation. "Impossible," Threx shouted. "How can they move like that?" The alien council started to panic. Messages were sent to other fleets for backup. "We need more ships. We need more weapons." But deep inside, an old fear started to grow. What if the stories were true? On the screen, the unknown fleet slowed down. One of their ships opened communication again. This time, the message was even colder. "We gave you warnings. You chose to ignore." Then silence again. The leaders argued. Some wanted to negotiate. Some wanted to attack harder. Others whispered the forbidden word, humans. "No, it cannot be humans," said Queen Valora, shaking her head. "Humans are extinct. We made sure of that 100 years ago." An old alien general, with silver scars across his face, spoke quietly. "If they are humans, then we are already dead." Outside, the unknown fleet positioned themselves like wolves around a wounded animal. The aliens had the bigger ships. They had more weapons. They had more numbers. But they had no heart to fight what they did not understand. Inside the control room, tension grew. The council sent a drone closer to the unknown ships to scan them. As the drone approached, it sent back a blurry image. Inside the ships, humanoid figures were visible, wearing black armored suits with the symbol of Earth burned into their chests. One alien officer fell to his knees. "It's true. It's them. he cried. The council froze. The memories of Earth's wars, Earth's rebellions, and Earth's rage came back like a nightmare. On the screen, one last message arrived. Prepare yourselves. The human fleet powered their weapons. The sky turned red. The battle had not even begun. And already, fear had won. The battle station floated in space like a wounded animal. Inside, the alien council was in chaos. Fear filled the air. For the first time in centuries, the mighty leaders did not know what to do. The humans were real. They were here. Threx slammed his fist on the table. Send them a warning, he shouted. Tell them to turn back or be destroyed. The officers obeyed. A powerful message was broadcast into space. Unknown fleet, this is your final warning. Turn back now or face total destruction. For a few seconds, there was silence. Then the answer came. No reply. Only the cold blackness of space. Tension grew. Weapons on the alien ships powered up. Massive cannons aimed at the small but deadly human ships. General Threx smiled wickedly. They are afraid, he said. They know they cannot win. But deep inside, even he was not sure. Without warning, a single human ship moved forward. It was small, fast, and carried no heavy weapons. The alien commanders laughed. A scout, a fool, Queen Valora said, amused. Alien fighters were sent to intercept it. A squad of 10 strong, heavily armed crafts. The small human ship flew directly toward them, fearless. At the last second, it twisted, rolling and diving between the alien fighters like a ghost. Laser blasts filled the sky, but the human ship danced through them. Then it fired. Not heavy missiles, not giant beams. Simple, sharp, fast weapons, but each one hit perfectly. One by one, the alien fighters exploded in silent fire. Within 30 seconds, the entire alien squad was gone. The council watched in horror. How is this possible? Queen Valora whispered. A junior officer ran to the council room, his face pale. High Lords, reports are coming in. Their ships have strange energy signatures. They don't follow any known patterns. They are unpredictable. No machine can be this smart, another general said. No machine, but a human can, whispered the old scarred general. The reality was becoming clear. These were not machines. These were not weak traitors. They were human warriors. The council panicked. Some demanded immediate retreat. Others screamed for more reinforcements. But it was too late. A loud crash shook the battle station. Alarms blared. On the screens, more human ships appeared, dozens of them. They moved together, silent, like sharks closing in on their prey. The alien commanders ordered full attack. All ships opened fire. The dark space lit up with deadly beams, missiles, and plasma blasts. For a moment, it seemed like the humans would be overwhelmed. But the human fleet moved differently. They split into small groups, each attacking from strange angles. They used the station's own gravity fields against the alien ships, slingshotting themselves into deadly attacks. They hacked into alien systems, causing confusion and friendly fire. It was chaos. The aliens had more power, more size, more weapons, but the humans had something far more dangerous. Adaptability. In the council room, a desperate decision was made. Capture one of them, Threx growled. We need to know who they are and what they want. Special forces were sent. Traps were set. Finally, after a fierce battle, they managed to capture a damaged human ship and drag it onto the station. The room fell silent as the human pilot was brought in, injured, but standing tall. He wore a black armored suit, marked with the ancient Earth symbol. His eyes were cold, burning with silent rage. Threx stepped forward. Who are you? Why are you attacking us? He demanded. The human pilot looked at them with no fear. He spoke slowly, each word cutting like a blade. You forgot us. You erased us. You laughed at us. Now, we have returned. Queen Valora stepped back in fear. You are human, she said, her voice shaking. The pilot smiled slightly. We are more than human now. Without warning, the pilot activated the small hidden device. Explosions rocked the battle station as hidden charges planted earlier by the human fleet exploded at key points. The station shook violently. Lights flickered. Systems failed. Panic filled the halls. Through the windows, the alien leaders saw the human fleet moving in, preparing for the final strike. In the council room, before the systems went dark, the last thing the leaders heard was the human pilot's voice. We are the future you feared. We are the nightmare you tried to bury. The screen went black. Outside, the human fleet surrounded the crippled station like wolves circling their prey. The first contact was complete. And it was just the beginning. The battle station floated helplessly in space. Fires burned inside. Systems were broken. Fear filled every hallway. The alien council was broken too. Some leaders were missing. Some were injured. Those who remained sat in silence, staring at the cracked screens. The humans had won the first strike, easily. No one laughed now. No one spoke loudly. Only quiet fear remained. In a dark room, the old scared General Valcor stood alone. He stared at a large map of the galaxy. Tiny red dots blinked where human fleets were now moving. They were not just attacking the station. They were spreading everywhere. He remembered the old stories, the ones told to scare children. Stories of humans. Humans, the destroyers. Humans, the creators of chaos. Humans, the unstoppable survivors. Long ago, the galaxy had decided that humans were too dangerous. A secret war was launched against Earth. Powerful weapons were used. Earth was cut off from the stars. Everyone believed they had destroyed humanity. But now it was clear they had made a terrible mistake. They had not destroyed humans. They had given them time to evolve. Inside the council chamber, Threx shouted in anger. This is not possible. They were supposed to be gone. Queen Valora shook her head, her voice almost a whisper. We never understood them, she said. We thought they would die alone, but they grew stronger. An officer entered the room, trembling. Reports from the outer colonies. Humans have attacked and taken 3 planets already, he said. Their technology, their strategies, we cannot predict them. The leaders listened in horror. Humans were using methods no alien race had ever seen. Ships that could hide from sensors, weapons that hacked enemy systems, soldiers that could survive without oxygen for hours, strategies that changed every minute. It was like fighting a storm. One moment humans fought like ghosts. The next moment they attacked like beasts. There was no pattern, no mercy. The council debated what to do. Some wanted to call for peace. Some wanted to fight harder. Some wanted to run. But the old general, Valcor, knew the truth. Humans do not want peace, he said. Not after what we did. They want us to feel what they felt. They want us to fear. And they were succeeding. Messages arrived from different parts of the galaxy. The 7th Fleet has fallen. Our capital defenses have been breached. Our supply lines are gone. Every report brought more fear. Meanwhile, in deep space, aboard the flagship of the human fleet, Commander Elias stood looking at the stars. He remembered Earth's suffering. The hunger, the darkness, the isolation, and the anger that burned inside every human heart. Now it was their turn. Commander Elias spoke into the communication system. Begin Phase 2. Let them remember why they feared us. His voice was cold. His eyes were colder. Human ships moved like a tidal wave, targeting alien communication centers, fuel depots, and command hubs. They did not just destroy, they erased. Back at the alien station, fear turned into full panic. Open negotiations, Queen Valora cried. Offer them anything they want. But it was too late. A human message arrived on their broken screen. No video, only a voice. No peace, no surrender, only justice. Frex threw a chair across the room in rage. They are monsters, he screamed. Valcor spoke quietly. No, they are what we made them. On one broken outer planet, an alien commander stood in the ashes of a fallen city. Human soldiers moved silently among the ruins, planting flags. They did not celebrate. They did not speak. They only worked. Cold, efficient, relentless. The alien commander fell to his knees. Forgive us, he whispered. But there was no one left to listen. Across the galaxy, one thing became clear. The humans were not just fighting a war. They were teaching a lesson the galaxy would never forget. The galaxy was no longer peaceful. The silence of space had been broken by war, a war unlike anything the aliens had ever faced. For centuries, the galaxy's strongest empires had ruled without fear. They had wiped out weaker civilizations. They had destroyed threats before they could even rise. But now, humans had returned, and they had brought chaos with them. The alien battle station was still crippled, but it wasn't destroyed. The leaders had ordered every remaining ship to assemble. The planet defenses were being prepared. The alien forces would fight back. They had no choice. But deep down, they all knew the truth. The human fleet was something different, something terrifying. Across the stars, the human ships moved forward. Each ship was a weapon of destruction, smaller and faster than the alien behemoths, but each more powerful than anything the aliens had ever faced. The black ships appeared like shadows in the distance, slowly growing larger and larger until they filled the sky, cutting through the void like knives. On the flagship, Commander Elias stood at the bridge, staring at the stars. His crew moved with precision, their faces cold, determined. "Commander," a voice called. It was Lieutenant Sarah, his most trusted officer. "The fleet is in position. We're ready to begin," she said. Elias nodded, his eyes narrowing. "No mercy. No retreat. We finished this here." Back at the alien command center, fear was turning into desperation. The alien fleet was massive. Hundreds of ships, each armed with powerful weapons, began to move into formation. It was their last chance to protect their homeworlds. But even as they prepared for battle, the alien leaders knew that their strength wasn't enough to defeat the humans. Their ships were bigger, their weapons stronger, but the humans were smarter, faster. The aliens' tactics were predictable, their technology outdated compared to the unpredictable fury of human ingenuity. Threx stood before the council, his face twisted in frustration. "We must not let them take another world. We have to win this battle." Valora, her voice cold, agreed. "The humans will come for us. They've proven they'll stop at nothing." And then they saw it. The human fleet had already launched its first strike. The sky lit up with flashes of light. Missiles shot from the human ships, tearing through the dark, burning space. Alien fighters launched to meet them, but the humans were already inside their defenses, hitting weak points before the aliens even had a chance to react. The first wave of alien ships exploded. The humans weren't giving them a second to breathe. The battle was swift, brutal, and one-sided. Elias stood still, watching the chaos unfold on the screen. His voice was calm, but his words were filled with purpose. Target their communication lines. Disable their command centers. With precise movements, human ships began to disable the alien communications, cutting off their ability to command. The alien fighters, left without orders, became disorganized, easy prey for the humans. The battle station, now the last hope of the alien forces, began to fire back, launching enormous energy beams toward the human ships. But the humans were already moving, slipping in and out of range with perfect timing, dodging the blasts with ease. On the battlefield, chaos reigned. Explosions filled the air. Space itself seemed to tremble as human ships fought through waves of alien fighters. The alien fleet tried to regroup, but every attempt was met with relentless human aggression. In one part of the battlefield, a human squadron engaged in close-range combat with a fleet of alien cruisers. The humans used their speed to their advantage, weaving in and out of the alien ships, launching rapid strikes at their weak points. Within minutes, the alien cruisers were burning in space, helpless to defend themselves. As more ships fell, the aliens began to retreat. But it was too late. The humans had taken control. Back on the alien command station, Threx slammed his fist against the console. "This cannot be happening. We must end this now," he shouted. But even as he spoke, it was clear that the battle was lost. The humans had taken their strongest fleets. They were unstoppable. Commander Elias was watching everything from his ship. His face remained calm, but his eyes burned with determination. He gave the signal, and the final wave of human ships moved in. "Target the command station. This ends today," he ordered. The human fleet moved swiftly, their ships like shadows in the dark, closing in on the alien battle station. Massive blasts rocked the station as human ships unleashed their full arsenal. Alien fighters tried to protect it, but they were overwhelmed, their systems crippled by the humans' superior technology. On board the battle station, panic spread. Alien soldiers rushed to their stations, trying desperately to stop the incoming human attack. But it was too late. The final blow came. A massive energy blast that tore through the heart of the alien station, sending it into a spiral of fire and destruction. On the human ships, cheers rang out as the alien battle station was destroyed. Elias stood on the bridge, his face hard, his eyes fixed on the wreckage. "This is just the beginning," he muttered. In the alien command room, all that was left was silence. The few remaining commanders looked at the burning wreckage of their fleet. They had lost. The galaxy was changing, and the humans had become the new power. The aliens had mocked them. They had underestimated them. Now, they would pay the price. As the final explosion rocked the galaxy, Commander Elias spoke one final time into the ship's communication system. "We will not stop until we have taken everything you have. We are humanity, and we are back." The war had raged across the galaxy for weeks. The humans were relentless. No alien fleet, no planet, and no stronghold was safe. The once mighty alien empires were falling one after another, shattered by the unyielding force of humanity. The alien commanders, once so proud, now trembled in the face of a terrifying truth. The humans were not just fighting to win. They were fighting to destroy everything the aliens had built. Commander Elias stood on the bridge of his flagship, looking at the broken remains of the alien battle stations. The victory was sweet, but there was no celebration. The galaxy was in chaos, and it was only just beginning. "This is far from over," Elias said quietly. His voice was cold, focused. Behind him, Lieutenant Sarah stepped forward, her face grim. "The remaining alien forces are gathering. They won't give up, but they're divided. Some want to negotiate. Others are preparing for their last stand." Elias nodded. "They're scared, and they should be. But we won't stop. We've come too far." On the distant planet of Krull, the last of the alien High Council met in secret. The once mighty rulers, now desperate and afraid, had gathered in a hidden underground chamber. Threx, the lizard-like general, paced back and forth, his sharp claws clicking against the stone floor. "We cannot lose. The humans are everywhere. They've destroyed our fleets. Our worlds are burning." Queen Velora, her voice shaking, spoke up. "We underestimated them. We mocked them. And now we're paying the price. But we cannot stop now. If we do, they will hunt us down to the last one." One of the older generals, his face marked by years of war, spoke in a low voice. "We must unite the remaining fleets. We have to make our last stand on Krull. We may not win, but we can at least take some of them down with us. Threx turned to him, his eyes burning with fury. Then we will die fighting. But we will not surrender. Back in the human fleet, Commander Elias watched the alien defenses. The final battle was approaching, and the alien forces had gathered for one last attempt to stop humanity's advance. Elias wasn't fooled. This would be their final chance to prove their superiority, and they would throw everything they had left into it. Prepare for the final strike, Elias ordered. We'll end this once and for all. The human fleet moved toward the alien planet of Kral. The sky above the planet was dark with the shadows of incoming ships. But the humans were not afraid. They had come too far. They had already destroyed the aliens' best fleets. Now, it was time to finish what they had started. On the surface of Kral, the alien army prepared. The last of the planetary defenses had been activated. Massive energy shields were raised around the planet's core. The alien soldiers, though shaken, stood ready for the final fight. Threx watched the skies above, waiting for the human fleet to arrive. We will make them regret mocking us. We will make them pay for every world they've taken from us. But as the hours passed, an unsettling silence filled the air. The human ships were not yet in range. Then it happened. From the darkness of space, a single human ship appeared, moving slowly toward the planet. It was small, unarmed, almost unremarkable. Threx's eyes narrowed. What is this? A trick? He didn't have long to wait. The ship opened fire. The first blast tore through the alien shields, creating a shockwave that rattled the planet. The massive energy barriers flickered, struggling to hold. Then, hundreds of human ships appeared, emerging from the shadows. They surrounded the planet, attacking from every direction. The alien defenses couldn't keep up. The human ships were everywhere, cutting through the alien lines like a knife through butter. Elias' voice echoed across the fleet. This is the end. Finish them. The final battle was fierce. Explosions lit up the sky. The alien fleet fought with everything they had, launching missiles, firing plasma beams, and attempting desperate maneuvers. But they were outmatched, outclassed. The human ships moved like predators, always one step ahead, always striking where the aliens were weakest. Alien fighters scattered, trying to regroup, but they were overwhelmed. In the middle of the chaos, Commander Elias' flagship moved forward, its weapons charging for the final blow. Threx watched from the command center, his last hope fading. No, he muttered, staring at the incoming human ships. We will not be erased. But the truth was undeniable. The humans had already won. With one final strike, the human fleet tore through the last of the alien defenses. The planet of Kral erupted in flames as the human ships completed their assault. The alien forces, shattered and broken, had nothing left to fight with. The galaxy had changed forever. The aliens who once mocked humanity, who once thought they could destroy them, now lay in ruins. Commander Elias watched the destruction from his flagship, his expression hard, unreadable. It's over, he said softly. The price of mocking humanity has been paid. The alien empire was no more. The survivors scattered across the galaxy, hiding in the corners of space, knowing that the humans would never forget. The humans had returned, and they had taken everything the aliens had once held dear.